Hey, what's up guys? It's Nightwing2303 from WearTesters.com, and today we have the Air Jordan 29 versus the BrandBlack J Crossover II. These two are the only true woven or knitted uppers that we've seen on basketball footwear. Yes, there is the Kobe 9, but that fly knit is definitely not solely woven. There's a lot of glue used, a lot of stuff that helps reinforce the knit, whereas these two are mostly natural knits, and so that's why we're going to be putting them head to head and seeing which one performs the best. Alright guys, so the first thing that we're going to cover or compare is the traction. Both pairs have very good traction, so not to take one thing away from the next, and in all honesty it's really hard to choose between the two which one is so-called better. So since they are both so good, we're going to actually compare both of them with their predecessors. Now this is what we received for the J Crossover 1, and it was surprisingly good traction, like really good traction. Definitely wasn't sold on them from a visual standpoint, just like from an initial look, but once you got these guys on court, they were absolute beasts. But with all that said, the blade traction featured on the Crossover 2 just basically whoops the 1's ass. Now when talking about the predecessor to the 29, the Air Jordan 28, seriously is just the best traction I've ever had, period. So while the 29 worked, they were slightly disappointing in comparison to the previous model. Basically, they went from something that was the best I've ever had to something that was good, but not quite as great. Again, if I had to pick between the two, I would honestly say that they are tied. They are both very good, solid options. If you hoop outdoors, this might be a little bit of a better option, but if we're talking indoors, they're almost as good as each other. Now we're going to be talking about their cushion. Cushion is a very subjective subject. This is based solely on people's personal preferences. Did you want impact protection, responsiveness, maybe both? Each of these shoes will deliver that for you. So again, I would have to say that both of them are tied, but there definitely are things to consider with each model. So the 29 focus primarily is on the forefoot. There is no real heel cushion here, and they do that with the unlock zoom unit, which feels amazing. This is literally something that is unlike anything that you've ever tried. If you still have not tried Unlock Zoom, you're totally missing out. Definitely something to want to experience, especially on court. Meanwhile, the J Crossover 2 offers full length cushion. It's not isolated to one section or the other. It is full length, kind of like a more bang for your buck option. And basically what they use is what they call their Jetlon foam. The best way I can describe Jetlon as far as how it feels like a mixture between Micro G and Zoom Air. The Jetlon, in my opinion, offers you a slightly smoother transition, while the Unlock Zoom will offer unmatched impact protection, but solely isolated to the forefoot. So again, you can't go wrong with either one. I would have to say that they're tied, but it definitely is a personal preference as far as cushion is concerned. My personal preference just happens to go to the Jetlon foam. It's full length, it offers a slightly smoother transition and ride, and for its price, it kind of gives you a little bit more bang for your buck. Now materials are the real heavy hitter here. Both utilize a woven or knitted upper, which is amazing. Uppers are definitely subjective as well, don't get me wrong, but these are two that are very close to each other, which is why they're versus or being compared. And like I said earlier, these are the only two shoes to really do it right. There's no plastics or glues applied to the shoes. There are a little bit, but it's not anything to where it's going to be really hindering anything. As you can see, they're both very soft and pliable. This is as close as you can get to a full-on pure woven upper. Both of which require zero break-in time. They're lightweight, they're supportive to a degree. The drawback between wovens is that neither one of these are durable. And what I mean by that is that you are going to wear and tear these a lot quicker than you would something either like a synthetic or just a regular leather. So in my opinion, when you do choose a woven upper like one of these, what you're telling yourself is that you prefer comfort over all else. So you want something that's just ready to go straight out the box, has enough support to take care of you, but not too much to where it's going to hinder your movements or kind of give you any weird pinching or pain while you're playing. Now once again, I would want to say that these guys are tied, especially if you're looking solely at performance, but when you get right down into it, like the fine details, the Air Jordan 29 is far more technical than the Crossover 2. These guys feature thousands of threads throughout the entire upper. There is woven in sections of support that is featured on the Crossover 2 as well, but this is just far more technologically advanced as far as the implementation of the actual woven material. And their ability to weave or sew in anything, literally any graphic or image into the upper, is basically unmatched by any other brand. The potential with this upper, with that graphic option where you can weave in anything, literally makes their possibilities of colorways and looks endless, which is something that Jordan Brand, in my opinion, has lacked on, where they just haven't delivered what this really can do. So in my opinion, the 29 beats the Crossover 2 as far as their woven material is concerned, but both of them are very similar. So So the last deciding factor, at least in my opinion, has got to be the price. Now, unless you're a complete brand snob or loyal to one specific company, you have to see and basically understand and realize that for 140 bucks, the Crossover 2 gives you comparable performance to the 29, which retails at $225. Their performance is so comparable that really only nitpicking their woven process is the only way to truly decide which one is basically better than the other. So if you're gonna break things down by price, for 140 bucks, what you're getting with the Crossover 2 is great traction, full length cushion, and an upper that is incredibly awesome. Whereas $225 is gonna get you the 29, which features, again, great traction, 4-foot only cushion, and an upper that is also awesome. In all honesty, they nearly offer you the same exact stuff as far as like on-court usage goes. Their main difference, at least the one that you'll actually notice, is that one costs 140 bucks, whereas the other one costs 225 bucks. And in case you have not learned, whichever one you pick, you're gonna absolutely love on court. And of course, grabbing either one of them for under retail is an absolute steal. It just comes down to your personal preference. Do you want isolated cushion, full length cushion? Do you want Jordan brand? Do you want a new brand? Do you want to pay 140 bucks or do you want to pay 225 bucks? It's all up to you. Both of them are gonna offer you a great on-court experience, and I think both shoes are worthy of a try. So that pretty much takes care of everything. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all your support. Hopefully this helped you out a little bit. And until next time, guys, have a good one.